Hey there, Logan with Sweetfish here. In this quick video, I'm going to give you the answers to 5 frequently asked questions about recording your podcast interviews with Riverside.fm. The first question we get a lot is this: how do I access my files once my recordings are complete? Number 2, how can I get support, especially if I have technical issues or my guest's audio or video doesn't successfully upload before they leave the call? Number 3, how will my producer know when I have new recordings available in Riverside.fm? Number 4, can I download my files and use them for other purposes outside of the podcast that Sweetfish Media helps me to produce? And then number 5, how can I get a combined file of the guest audio and video together for some different use cases? So let's tackle these one by one. Let's talk about number 1. How do I access my files? Well, you'll log in to riverside.fm and then you will click on your production, which is likely named for either your company or your show name. And then you'll go into your studio. I have several set up here. You will likely just have one that you are using on a recurring basis for your show. And you'll simply find that studio for your show name and click View All Recordings. Right? From here, there are a few different file types and they have different applications. So I will walk you through each one of these. You'll see a line for the host and the guest, and whatever they listed as their name when they logged in and joined the recording studio will show up here. What it shows up here is when you were the host, when you title your recording, it shows up right here in your recordings as the name of that session. All right. Into the files, you will see a WAV file and an MP4 for each person who joined the call, either as a guest, an additional guest, or the host of the show. The WAV file is that high quality audio, single track isolated to that individual person. So you can see here between myself and Eric Thomas, each one of us has an individual WAV file. We also have individual video files. So this WAV file and MP4 per person on the recording session are the highest quality individual tracks that you can get. Now, you can also get a combined file. I'll answer that on why you might want to do that and where you would get that in just a second. Number 2, let's say you need some technical support. Where do you go? First off, as a Sweetfish customer, you have access to enterprise level support with Riverside.fm, and you can simply email them at enterprise@riverside.fm. That is much faster than using the chat or using their normal support page. Part of our partnership with Riverside.fm is to give you a higher level of support. So feel free to use that enterprise@riverside.fm email address. You're welcome to copy your producer on the Sweetfish team so that they are in the know. But that email address is going to give you the fastest and most responsive support on using Riverside.fm and any technical issues. Now, let's say your guest leaves the call early or there's a technical issue with their upload. Never fear, there is a backup that you can utilize. If you are in your dashboard and you are viewing your recordings, and let's say Eric jumped off the recording and his status here says he left the recording call before his upload finished. You'll notice this section right here. Did your guest leave the session before finishing uploading? Send them to this link. So you can simply copy this link and email, text, or send it to them in some form or fashion. They will visit this page. Riverside.fm will identify them and say, hey, this is Eric. His upload didn't finish last time. Find the local files on that computer and upload them. So there is a way to retrieve those backups. And it is simply by sending your guest to this link and having that upload happen automatically after the fact. All right, so we've covered how you access your files. What are the most important files that you might want to grab from here? How do you get support with Riverside.fm? Remember that enterprise@riverside.fm email address. Number 3, how will my producer know when recordings there are new recordings available in Riverside? And the short answer is they won't without you emailing them. Right now, there's no automated feature in Riverside to send your producer an alert. So all you need to do is simply send your producer an email that says, hey, I just recorded a new episode. The files are in Riverside, and then include a few bullet points to point your producer in the right direction. The things you want to list are the guest's name, title, and company. If we are not booking the guests for you, it's very, very helpful if you include the LinkedIn profile link of your guest so that we find the right Joe Johnson or Jane Doe and don't pull the wrong LinkedIn profile link as we write your headline and create the other assets from your episode. You'll also want to include the recording day and time, and then any audio notes. So if you email your producer and say, hey, I just recorded a great episode with Joe Smith. His title is this at ABC Corp. Here's his LinkedIn profile link. We recorded on Monday at 2:30 Eastern, and here are my audio notes. Your producer will be able to get that episode into production right away. Now, one other question we get a lot of times, number 4 on our list, can I download my files and use them outside of my podcast? You absolutely can. So as we covered earlier, if you're here in your dashboard and you're viewing your recordings, you can get the individual WAV files, you can get the individual video MP4 files, and you can use those for other applications as well. They're housed here in Riverside for you to be able to access and work with as well. All right, lastly, can I get a combined file? And this is actually something we use here internally when our writers listen to your episodes to write the headlines and create other assets out of your episodes. So under download internet recordings, there are 2 options here: composed audio backup and composed video backup. These 2 give you a single track where the video of the host and the guest is combined into one file, and same thing with the audio where you have one single track of audio with host and guest combined. Now, these are lower quality files. We typically only use them for production of your episode. If for some reason these local files were not able to be retrieved, if there was an error in uploading or recording or something like that. So this does serve as a backup in addition to this last minute upload backup that we have here. It's also a great way if you want to listen back to the episode without having to download the individual tracks and combine them in a platform like GarageBand or something like that. You can download these and have albeit a little bit lower quality, but just as good as you would get on Zoom or Microsoft Teams, some other sort of video conferencing platform. You do have the recordings that were recorded live over the internet. They're not the high quality local recordings, but they can be used in a pinch, and they can help you to be able to listen through and give audio notes to our team. If you want to listen to the single track audio or video, they're available right here. Again, download internet recordings, and composed audio or composed video backup is there for you. So that is what I've got in this video. We've answered the 5 questions. How do you access your files? How do you get support? How will your producer know when new files are available? And can you download your files for use outside of the podcast? And finally, how can I get a combined file of the audio and video recording? Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions regarding using Riverside, email your producer here on the Sweetfish team. And again, if you have any technical issues, please email enterprise@riverside.fm. Thanks so much.